Hey man, let's not sugarcoat this. If you've ever been the guy who gave too much, waited too long, or held your breath hoping she'd finally choose you, you know what it feels like to be the placeholder. This isn't just a label. It's a state of being, a psychological purgatory where you exist only in the periphery of someone else's life. You are the unpaid, on-call, emotional support, the late-night therapist, the ever-reliable backup plan when her first choice flakes. You're the one she calls when she's bored, lonely, or needs a quick ego boost after being ignored by the man she truly wants. And deep down, you feel it. It's a cold, sinking feeling in your gut every time your phone lights up with her. Name a toxic cocktail of a fleeting thrill mixed with the grim recognition that you're just a utility. You know with a certainty that haunts your quiet moments. When she's using your attention to patch up her wounds, to keep herself entertained, until someone she considers better comes along. You see the signs in the one-word replies to your thoughtful paragraphs, the last-minute cancellations justified by flimsy excuses, and the endless stories she tells you about other guys' stories you listen to with a patient nod while your own soul is being ripped apart, piece by agonizing piece. This state of being, this placeholder's plight, doesn't happen by accident. It is the direct result of a deeply ingrained psychological framework, a set of subconscious beliefs that tell you your love is something to be earned through servitude. It is the manifestation of the nice guy fallacy, a dangerous and widespread myth that equates being endlessly accommodating, agreeable, and sacrificial with being attractive and worthy of love. Society, in many ways, has sold you a lie. It told you that if you just put her on a pedestal, cater to her every need, and absorb all her emotional baggage without complaint, she would eventually recognize your noble sacrifice and fall into your arms. But pedestals are for statues, not for people. By placing her above you, you have fundamentally unbalanced the dynamic of respect. You have communicated, in no uncertain terms, that your needs are secondary, your time is infinitely flexible, and your feelings are negotiable. Dissect the anatomy of this one-sided connection. It begins with communication. You send a thoughtful, well-crafted message asking about her day, referencing a detail she shared with you last week. You wait. Hours later, maybe even a day later, your phone buzzes. It's her. The reply is 3 letters, LOL, or perhaps a Your heart sinks, but the hopeful part of your brain immediately starts making excuses. She's just busy. She's not a big texter at least, she replied. You then expend enormous mental energy crafting the perfect follow-up, a message designed to be so engaging, so charming, so low pressure that she simply has to respond properly. You are performing, auditioning for her attention while she is merely spectating. Then there's the matter of your time. You keep your schedule perpetually open, just in case she decides she wants to see you. You turn down plans with friends, skip your gym session, and put your own projects on the back burner based on a vague, maybe we can do something this weekend she threw your way. Friday night arrives, and you text her to confirm. Silence. An hour passes. You start to feel that familiar anxiety creeping in. Finally, a message appears. So sorry, something came up. Range, you know, with gut-wrenching certainty, that something is either a better offer or simply the comfort of her couch, which she deemed more valuable than the plans you held your breath for. And what do you reply? Not, that's disappointing. My time is valuable, but the classic placeholder anthem, no worries at all. Hope everything is okay. Let me know when you're free. You have just taught her that your time has no cost and that breaking commitments with you has no consequences. The most insidious part of being the placeholder is the role of the unofficial therapist. She tells you about her terrible date with a guy who treated her poorly, the same guy she was posting romantic pictures with just last week. She vents about her frustrations with men who are immature and don't know what they want. You listen intently, offering sage advice and validation. You tell her she deserves better. You tell her she is a wonderful person who will find the right guy someday. In your mind you are screaming, I am the right guy. I am right here, proving I'm everything those other men are not. But she doesn't hear that. What she hears is that you are a safe, non-threatening, and endlessly supportive friend. You have willingly placed yourself in the friend zone, a term that isn't really a place she puts you in, but a role you volunteer for, hoping for a promotion that will never come. You become her emotional dumping ground. She unloads all her pain, anxiety, and confusion onto you, and you absorb it, leaving you drained and empty. She walks away feeling lighter, her ego boosted, ready to go back to the very man who caused the pain in the first place. while you are left carrying the weight of her emotional baggage with none of the benefits of a genuine reciprocal partnership. This dynamic is emotional slavery, and you have handed her the chains, hoping she one day use them to pull you closer. She knows on some level, conscious or not, she knows you're too afraid to walk away. She knows that no matter how little she invests, you'll still be there, ready to give more. That isn't love. It's a quiet desperation, a palpable neediness, that repels the very thing you crave. It is the least attractive quality a man can possess. Women, like all people, are drawn to strength, confidence, and a sense of completeness. They are not biologically or emotionally wired to be attracted to a vacuum that needs them to feel whole. Your constant availability, your eagerness to please, and your fear of setting boundaries don't communicate, "I'm a great guy." They communicate, "I don't value myself, so please, I need you to value me for the both of us." But you don't walk away. You stay, clinging to a sliver of hope, a delusion you feed yourself daily. You think if you just keep showing up, keep proving your loyalty, keep being the nice guy, eventually she'll have an epiphany and see your worth. This hope is a potent drug. You fixate on the small breadcrumbs of affection she scatters your way, a random compliment, an emoji, a moment where she seemed genuinely engaged. You replay these moments in your mind, magnifying their significance, using them as evidence to prop up your crumbling fantasy. You are a detective searching for clues of love in a crime scene devoid of any evidence. This self-deception is a defense mechanism, protecting you from the harsh reality that your investment is yielding no returns. To admit the truth would be to admit you've wasted your time, your energy, and your emotional dignity. It's easier to believe in a future breakthrough than to face a present failure. Let's explore the psychological roots of this behavior. Often, the placeholder operates from a deep-seated fear of abandonment or a core belief of not being good enough. Perhaps in your childhood, you learned that love was conditional, that you had to perform, achieve, or be exceptionally good to receive affection and avoid disapproval. You became a people pleaser, an expert at anticipating the needs of others and suppressing your own. Your identity became entangled with your ability to serve. Walking away from a one-sided relationship feels terrifying because it confirms your deepest fear that if you stop giving, you will be left alone. So you give more, you try harder, you become the emotional contortionist, bending yourself into whatever shape you think she desires, losing your own form in the process. This behavior is further enabled by a misunderstanding of what women truly desire. The placeholder confuses kindness with a lack of boundaries, and support with a lack of standards. Kindness is a virtue. Being supportive is a cornerstone of any healthy relationship. But when these qualities are not balanced with they become liabilities. A man who is kind but will not tolerate disrespect is powerful. A man who is supportive but also has a mission and a purpose that sometimes takes precedence is attractive. The placeholder offers a watered-down, unconditional version of these traits. His kindness has no edge. His support has no cost. Therefore, both are perceived as having no value. Consider the concept of emotional tension. Women don't fall in love with comfort. They fall in love with challenge, with emotional challenge, and a degree of psychological tension. This isn't about being unsafe or cruel. It's about being a man who is not entirely figured out. A man whose validation is not guaranteed. A man who she feels she has to earn on some level. The placeholder eliminates all tension. He is a known quantity. His adoration is a given. There is no mystery, no challenge, no feeling of winning him over. He lays his cards on the table in the first hand, giving her all the power. In doing so, he makes himself emotionally disposable. She may like you, she may appreciate your kindness, she may even lean on you, but she will not desire you. She will not lie awake at night wondering about you. She will not feel that intoxicating pull of obsession, because you have made yourself utterly predictable. The worst part is the slow, corrosive effect this has on your own self-worth. Every time you answer her call after she ignored yours for 3 days, every time you rearrange your plans to fit her last-minute whims, every time you listen to her talk about another man, you are casting a vote against yourself. You are telling your own subconscious that your needs do not matter. This self-abandonment is a quiet tragedy. You start to forget what you even want. Your hobbies fade, your friendships wither from neglect, your personal goals gather dust. The entire emotional state becomes tethered to her whims. A positive text from her can make your day. Her silence can ruin it. This is a fragile and powerless way to live. You have outsourced your happiness to someone who is not even an active participant in your life. Let's be brutally clear. She is not necessarily a villain in this story. While some people are malicious manipulators, many are simply acting on human nature. They are responding to the dynamic you have created. You have taught her how to treat you. You have shown her that your boundaries are non-existent and that your attention is free. She is simply accepting the terms and conditions you have presented. It is your responsibility to change them. The temptation is to blame her, to label her as uncaring or cruel. But blame is a form of powerlessness. It keeps you in the victim role, waiting for an apology or a change from her that will never come. The true power lies in radical self-ownership. It lies in looking in the mirror and admitting, I have allowed this, I have tolerated this, and I am the only one who can stop it. If you want to escape this cycle, you have to realize the more freely you give yourself to someone who hasn't earned it, the less they value you. Your validation, your time, and your emotional energy are precious commodities. You have been giving them away for free at a street corner stall, when you should be treating them as high-value assets, available only to qualified investors who are willing to make a reciprocal deposit. The first step out of the placeholder's plight is not to get angry or to demand more from her. It is to get quiet. It is to pull back your energy, not as a tactic to get her attention, but as an act of self-preservation. It is to begin the long, difficult, but ultimately liberating process of redirecting all that energy you are pouring into her back into the most important project you will ever work on, yourself. The emptiness you feel is not a void that she can fill. It is a space that you have evacuated, and only you can reclaim it. The journey from here is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to the man you were before you decided you needed someone else's approval to be whole. Asterisk, to become the prize, you must first kill the version of you that needed to be chosen. This is not a metaphor. It is a mandate for radical self-reconstruction. That version, the one who waited by the phone, overanalyzed texts, and let her inconsistency slide because he didn't want to seem needy, was operating from a place of fear, not power. He saw love not as a partnership, but as a prize he had to win through supplication. He wanted love so badly he accepted anything that resembled it, even if it was just a cold, hollow shadow. But you're done with that. You don't chase love, you attract it. And if it doesn't come correct, you let it go. Because you now understand a truth most men never learn. Losing a woman is not the end. Losing yourself trying to keep her is becoming the prize. Isn't about becoming heartless, arrogant, or manipulative. It's about becoming ruthlessly selective with your most valuable, non-renewable assets. Your time, your energy, and your attention. It's about embodying a deep, unshakable sense of self-worth that is not contingent on external validation. This transformation begins with a fundamental and seismic shift in your internal world. Instead of orbiting her life, you must build your own kingdom, a kingdom with high walls, clear laws, and immense value within. This isn't just about picking up a few hobbies to seem busy. It's about dedicating yourself to a life mission, with the fanaticism of a true believer. This is the practical, step-by-step work. First, you must build your body. The gym is your forge. It is where you will build not just muscle, but discipline, resilience, and a visceral connection to your own masculine energy. Every rep, every drop of sweat, is a vote you cast for the new man you are becoming. It is a physical manifestation of your commitment to self-improvement. When you are physically strong, you carry yourself differently. You walk with purpose. Your posture is erect. You occupy space with confidence. This physical transformation has a profound psychological effect, silencing the insecure voice in your head and replacing it with a quiet certainty in your own capabilities. Second, you must sharpen your mind. The prize is not an ignorant brute. He is intellectually formidable. Turn off the endless mind-numbing scroll of social media and the passive consumption of trivial entertainment. Instead, read books. Read philosophy to understand the world, history to understand patterns, biographies to understand greatness, and fiction to understand the human heart. Develop an expertise, a skill, a body of knowledge that makes you a fascinating and valuable individual. Engage in deep conversations. Learn to articulate your thoughts with precision and clarity. An intelligent man is a compelling man. He offers a perspective that is unique and stimulating, making him memorable long after the conversation has ended. Third, you must build your purpose and your finances. A man without a mission is a ship without a rudder, adrift on the sea of life and easily pulled into the orbit of others. Find your purpose. This could be building a business, excelling in your career, mastering a creative art, or dedicating yourself to a cause. Your purpose should be the central organizing principle of your life. It is the thing that pulls you out of bed in the morning with a fire in your belly. When you are driven by a purpose, your life gains a gravitational pull of its own. It provides you with a sense of identity and fulfillment that no relationship can ever give you. Hand in hand with purpose is financial sovereignty. Money is a tool of freedom. When you are financially stable and independent, you operate from a position of strength, not desperation. You are not subconsciously looking for a woman to complete you or save you. You are looking for a partner to complement your already complete life. Fourth, you must cultivate your brotherhood. The placeholder is often an isolated figure, having neglected his male friends in his single-minded pursuit of a woman. This is a critical error. A strong circle of ambitious, loyal, and honest men is a non-negotiable asset. This is your tribe, your council, your support system. They are the ones who will hold you accountable, celebrate your wins, and call you out when you deviate from your path. They provide the camaraderie and sense of belonging that you are mistakenly seeking from a single, unreliable source. When you have a strong brotherhood, you are less needy in your romantic relationships because your social and emotional needs are being met in a healthy, balanced way. Once you begin the work of building your kingdom, your entire energy shifts. You are no longer a consumer of validation, but a producer of value. And this is where the paradox kicks in. The moment you stop needing her is the precise moment she starts needing you. The energy flips, the dynamic shifts. Now, you're no longer chasing her validation, you're standing in your own unshakable power. This brings us to the art of emotional sovereignty. The prize is emotionally centered yet detached. He listens but doesn't worship. He offers value, not validation. And because of that, she can't stop thinking about him. He doesn't chase because he plays hard to get. He chases because he is hard to replace. This isn't a tactic. It's a natural consequence of his lifestyle. His time is genuinely scarce and valuable because he is busy building his empire. His attention is a gift, not a given, because it is directed towards his mission. His validation is potent because it is rare and earned, not dispensed freely like candy. This creates the key to her obsession, emotional contrast. In a world full of reactive, needy men who crumble at the first sign of disinterest, you become an island of calm certainty. You are the man who can handle her intensity without getting reactive, the one who can be present without being clingy, who can disappear without guilt and return without apology. You don't entertain low-effort communication. When she sends a one-word text, you might not respond for hours, or even until the next day, not as a punishment, but because you are deeply engrossed in your work, your workout, or a conversation. With your brothers, your response, when it comes, is calm, direct, and moves the interaction forward only if you choose to. When she is flaky, your reaction is the ultimate pattern: interrupt. If she cancels a date last minute, the placeholder panics and scrambles to reschedule. The prize is unperturbed. A simple, okay, another time perhaps, is all that is required. You then proceed with your evening, fully engaged in an alternative, high-value activity. You might even post a picture of yourself on social media later that night, not for her but for you enjoying a great steak, at a concert with friends, or working on your passion project. The message this sends is deafeningly clear. My happiness is not dependent on you. My life is full and exciting with or without you. If you want to be a part of it, you need to show up. This isn't about making her jealous. It's about demonstrating genuine high value. You learn to let your absence speak louder than your words. The placeholder is terrified of silence, filling every potential void with texts, calls, and reassurances. The prize understands that obsession is born in the void. It is in the spaces where she expected you to be, and you weren't, that she begins to wonder, what is he doing? Who is he with? Why isn't he chasing me like the others? The fantasy begins not when you show up every time she calls, but when you don't. Your absence creates a vacuum that her thoughts rush to fill. You become a mystery to be solved, a challenge to be conquered. This is a fundamental reversal of the roles. You stop being the man trying to earn her love and start being the man who is determining if she is worthy of his EV. You begin to qualify her. You are assessing her for the qualities you value: respect, reciprocity, intelligence, kindness, and feminine energy. Does she respect your time? Is she genuinely curious about your life and your mission? Does she add value to your interactions, or does she only take this as not an arrogant checklist? It is a standard of self-respect. You are the gatekeeper of your kingdom, and only those who come with respect and genuine interest are granted entry. A man who is the prize doesn't fight for attention. He doesn't explain his worth. He walks into every room knowing exactly who he is, and that presence, that quiet confidence, shakes people. It's rare, it's powerful, it's in your eyes, your tone, your stillness. You don't rush to impress. You Don't seek approval. You don't need to be the loudest in the room because your energy already speaks. And that's what she craves on a primal level. Not a man who needs her validation, but a man who validates himself. When you embody this energy, everything changes. The women who are using you as a placeholder will either level up and begin to treat you with respect, or they will fade away, unable to operate within your new framework. This is a natural filtering process. You are no longer attracting women who are looking for a doormat. You are attracting women who are drawn to strength, purpose, and integrity. You attract a woman who doesn't want to be the center of your world, but wants to join you in your mission. She doesn't want a boy to fix, she wants a man to admire. Let this be your turning point. The day you stop asking why you weren't chosen is the day you stop waiting to be seen. From here forward, you are the vision. You are the standard. You are the prize. Not because you're flawless, but because you are aware of your infinite worth. You no longer over-explain, over-give, or overstay your welcome. You choose yourself, boldly and unapologetically, and in doing so, you call in only those who can meet you at your level. No more placeholders, no more confusion, no more emotional slavery. You have upgraded your energy, your mindset, and your life. And now, the only people who make it through your gates are those who come correct. That's not ego, that's evolution. Walk like it, speak like it, love yourself like it, and watch as the world rearranges itself to meet your new standard.